The CIA just confirmed they have records on 3I Atlas, but they won't release them. When asked under the Freedom of Information Act, their response was, "We can neither confirm nor deny the existence or non-existence of records related to 3I Atlas." That's the language they use for classified operations, not comets. Meanwhile, Vladimir Putin was asked about it during a live press conference. A reporter asked if it's a spacecraft or a comet. Putin laughed it off, called it a comet from another place that behaves differently, then added, "We'll let it go to Jupiter." But scientists tracking this object just released a list of 18 anomalies that don't fit natural comet behavior. Here's what they found, and why some think this might not be what we've been told. Let's start with the trajectory. 3I Atlas is moving retrograde, opposite to the planet's rotation, and its path aligns within 5 degrees of the ecliptic plane where all the planets orbit. The probability of that happening by chance? 0.2%. The Milky Way disk is tilted 60 degrees from the ecliptic, so for an object coming from interstellar space to naturally align with our planetary plane is statistically unlikely. It suggests the trajectory might have been planned. Then there's the timing. 3I Atlas arrived at the exact moment to pass Mars at 29 million kilometers and Jupiter at 54 million kilometers. It was also unobservable from Earth during perihelion because of its position relative to the Sun. Convenient, and here's the strangest part. On March 16th, when it reaches Jupiter, it'll pass at 53.6 million kilometers, almost exactly Jupiter's hill radius of 53.5 million kilometers. That's the boundary where Jupiter's gravity balances the Sun's. It's the ideal spot to release satellites with minimal fuel. Random comet or planned rendezvous? The Hubble images from January 14th show something no natural comet has ever displayed. When scientists filtered out the symmetric glow, they found 4 jets. 3 of them spaced exactly 120 degrees apart. Perfect geometric symmetry. And none of those jets point away from the Sun like a normal tail. They're oriented in completely different directions, ignoring solar radiation and wind. The anti-tail, the jet pointing toward the Sun, appears both before and after perihelion. That requires active vents on opposite poles of the rotation axis. The probability of that configuration occurring naturally? 0.00025, 1 in 40,000. But there's more. The rotation axis was initially aligned within 8 degrees of the Sun when it entered the solar system. Another 0.5% probability event, and the wobble of the jets requires the base to sit within 8 degrees of the pole. Again, 0.5% odds. Stack those coincidences together, and you're looking at probabilities so small they start to look deliberate. Then there's what it's made of. The gas plume contains far more nickel than iron, a ratio seen in industrial nickel alloys, not natural comets. The nickel to cyanide ratio is orders of magnitude higher than thousands of known comets, including the last interstellar visitor, 2I Borisov. The anti-tail particles are massive. They're not the sub-micron dust you'd expect. They're larger than a millimeter. Big enough to push through solar wind without deflecting. But if they're that large, the mass required to explain 99% of the scattered sunlight doesn't add up. The numbers don't work. SphereX detected ice around the object before perihelion, but after perihelion, the ice signature vanished. Instead, they found organic molecules, methanol, formaldehyde, methane, ethane. These molecules can't survive billions of years of cosmic radiation unless buried under at least 10 meters of protective material, so the object is shedding layers, revealing what's underneath, and what's underneath doesn't match what should be there. 3I Atlas is more massive than both previous interstellar visitors, Oumuamua and Borisov, and it's moving faster. That suggests it didn't just drift here. It might have targeted the inner solar system. It shows extreme negative polarization, unprecedented in all known comets. Near perihelion, it brightened faster than any comet on record and appeared bluer than the Sun. And on January 22nd, it will align with the Sun-Earth axis to within 0.69 degrees. At that moment, the anti-tail will point directly at us. That alignment is so precise, it's only happened once before with another comet. Oh, and one more thing. 3I Atlas arrived from the same direction as the famous WOW signal, the 1977 radio burst that's never been explained. The match is within 9 degrees. Probability 0.6%. 18 anomalies. Some might have natural explanations, but stacked together, they paint a picture that doesn't fit the comet narrative. The CIA has records they won't release. Putin laughed off the question. And scientists are quietly updating risk assessments for what they're calling a potential black swan event. Helen McCaw, a former Bank of England analyst, just urged financial institutions to prepare for market instability in case an official announcement confirms alien intelligence. She's not alone. Policymakers are being advised to make contingency plans. Whether 3i Atlas is natural or something else, the data is forcing serious conversations. The January 22nd alignment will give us our clearest look yet. After that, it fades toward Jupiter, and whatever happens in March. Subscribe for updates as new data comes in. What do you think explains these 18 anomalies? Drop your thoughts below. The alignment is in 2 days.